Tonight, you might eat dinner alone. You might scroll through your phone for an hour without texting anyone back. You might go to sleep without having had a single real conversation. And your body will treat that the same way it treats a knife wound. That is not a metaphor. Loneliness triggers the same neural alarm system that physical pain does. The same regions of your brain light up. The same stress hormones flood your bloodstream. Your immune system shifts into a defensive crouch, bracing for injury that never comes. For thousands of years, being alone meant you were about to die. Your body still believes that. The real answer to why loneliness hurts is far stranger than anyone told you. Your brain did not evolve for the world you live in now. It evolved on the African savanna in small bands of 30 to 50 people who knew each other by name, by smell, by sound. Neuroscientist John Cacioppo spent decades studying what happens to the human body when that band disappears. What he found changed how scientists think about social connection entirely. Cacioppo called it the loneliness loop. When you feel socially isolated, your brain does not simply register sadness. It enters a state of hypervigilance. Your threat detection system, the amygdala, begins scanning for danger that is not there. You start interpreting neutral faces as hostile. You read ambiguity as rejection. A friend who does not reply becomes someone who hates you. A crowd becomes a wall. Your brain is not being dramatic. It is running the only software it knows. In the ancient world, being cast out of your group was a death sentence. Your nervous system learned to panic early so you would fix it fast. But here is where it gets stranger. Cacioppo and his colleague Louise Hockley tracked hundreds of people over years and found that loneliness physically rewires the body. It raises cortisol, the stress hormone, to levels normally seen in trauma patients. It disrupts sleep architecture, pushing you into lighter, more fragmented rest. It suppresses the antiviral genes that fight infection while simultaneously activating the genes that cause inflammation. You become biologically a person under siege, not because anything attacked you, because no one was there. The cardiovascular system takes the damage personally. Researcher Julianne Holt-Lunstad analyzed data from over 3 million people across multiple countries and found that chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death by 26%. That is more than obesity. That is comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Your heart does not just break metaphorically, it wears out faster, and yet loneliness is rising. In surveys conducted across North America, Europe, and Australia, more than 1 in 3 adults report feeling lonely on a regular basis. In the United States, the number of people who say they have no close confidants has tripled since the 1980s. We have more tools to connect than any humans in history. We carry devices that can reach anyone on the planet in seconds, and somehow the band got smaller. Part of the problem is that your brain cannot tell the difference between being seen and being watched. Scrolling through other people's lives feels like social contact. It registers briefly in the same neural pathways, but it does not satisfy the deeper need. Primatologist Robin Dunbar, who mapped the cognitive limits of human social networks, argues that what the brain actually craves is not audience, but intimacy, shared vulnerability. The specific warmth of being known by someone who chose to stay, that is what the ancient brain is waiting for, not followers, not likes, someone who knows your actual voice. The loneliness loop can be broken, but not passively. Cacioppo's research showed that lonely people do not simply need more social exposure. They need to reinterpret it differently, to interrupt the hypervigilance before it poisons every interaction. Small moments of genuine contact, a real conversation, eye contact held a second longer than usual, asking someone how they actually are and waiting for the real answer, these register in the nervous system as safety signals. They tell the ancient alarm to stand down. Your brain has been running that alarm for a long time, maybe longer than you noticed. Tonight, when you sit down alone, your body will scan the room the same way your ancestors scanned the darkness. It is looking for the same thing they were, not a screen, not a signal. A person who knows your name and is glad you are still here. That is what it always was.